Bill Skarsgård, the Crow? Recently, the images of this?
I saw some pictures.
Speaking of...
They probably shouldn't have done that either.
No.
Like,
yeah, why? Why did they do that?
they really love to just ruin good things, you know?
They do. They really do. Especially something so badass that is so beloved. Just seemed to
Did
make
they already
him
finish filming
look
that?
stupider. I think they did.
Okay, so it didn't happen to him too.
No, but I don't know if they could... I don't know if they could change it, though, like the CG.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Maximum Zach. On today's episode, we have Sarah Palmer, also known as Gwengoolie, also known as Pinup Palmer. We talked about 90s horror, how she became Gwengoolie, eye transplants, and a weird story with Jared Leto. Let's get into it. Let's do a little fitness update. Recently, I've been working out. I'm still getting in my cardio every day. That's been going very well, but I've also been intermittent fasting and really trying to focus on my diet. And one of the best ways for me to do that is by using Flex Pro meals. Like, Flex Pro meals is awesome. They send these meals straight to your house. They're easy to make. You put them in the microwave. They're nutritious. They're portioned out. And I don't have to have the hassle of going to the grocery store anymore. I have these healthy meals. But yeah, they have a bunch of different meal options you can choose from on their menu, and they'll send it straight to your house. So if you use promo code Zackass, you can get 40% off on your first order. Promo code Zackass. Thanks, Flex Pro. So yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. You?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just been doing stand-up, ghost hunting, just making content.
I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any new places for the ghost hunting?
Not recently. I went to Cobb Estate recently, and that was sort of a bust. We didn't get much activity. And the only activity we got, I can't really talk about. So,
does it even have to do with a ghost? Or?
Yeah, it had to do with someone that used to be associated with that area.
Oh.
But if we talk about it, they'll start following you around.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Change the subject then,
Yeah.
please. But is there any places that you definitely are like, oh, that place I want to go to? I want to search.
I mean, I saw this haunted high school online that I want to go to really bad. I think that would just hit like a bunch of I don't know, that would just be super scary to me. Like
teenagers. The worst.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Well, there was this janitor that posted a video where he's cleaning, he's just cleaning the rooms. Like, they threw a party in one of the classrooms, which there's just balloons and stuff everywhere. And this balloon is just following him around the school. Yeah.
Well, it could be worse.
It could be worse, I guess a bunch of janitors at the school are always quitting because it's too scary.
That's when you know it's bad.
Yeah.
That's when you know it's absolutely bad. Where's the school located?
I forgot. It was somewhere in the Midwest.
Of course.
Yeah.
Everything happens weird in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Nothing cool enough happens out here. Except, we have a couple things in Hollywood, or Hollywood is what I like to call it. For sure.
There's definitely a few, there's a lot of, haunted stuff around LA.
I would say so. Like the Pasadena Suicide Bridge?
Yeah, I've
right?
been there a lot. I don't really want to go back anymore. I've been
Why?
there, 4 times, and it's just really, I don't know. Is it
heavy?
Yeah, I don't like the feeling there.
Yeah.
Also, one of the last times I was there, it was telling us to unlock the locks on the fences.
Of course.
And all this other stuff, and there was a bunch of other weird instances that happened there.
So you're never going there again.
Yeah, and then after we were done, we took pictures just by our car, and there were orbs on me. It's after we had already saged me.
Of course.
So,
and you go through the whole rituals, right? Of
yeah.
I'll hold this crystal and sage yourself.
We don't have any crystals yet. I might need to work that into it.
At least keep it in your pocket or something like that. I forget.
I'm
which
also
ones
afraid that if I it's this one guy that went with us, he had a rosary and some other stuff, and he brought it out, and then we stopped getting responses. And then he had some candle thing too, and then as soon as we blew it out, we started getting responses again.
Immediately?
Yeah.
That's a different kind of entity then.
Yeah, and then we had also at the bridge, it's the only time where I've had like things happen. Like, so there were multiple times right when we got there for like one of the main videos that I did there, like as soon as we would get a response, things were like being thrown around us. And there was a couple of different times where we get a response and then stuff would fall out of the trees like every time.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Well,
it was
I
super
heard
weird.
you started doing comedy shows at the Laugh Factories and stuff.
Yeah. I've done some stuff. I just did a show at the Laugh Factory. I did a show
Which Laugh Factory?
The Hollywood one.
Oh,
and I did one. I've done stuff at the Comedy Store before. I've done stuff at the Improv. It's been a while though for there.
I asked because there's a new Laugh Factory that opened up at the Covina Playhouse.
Oh, okay.
And that place, I have done shows there, filmed there. That place is haunted. So if you ever go there to do a Laugh Factory show,
I want to go there now because of that.
It is. It used to. It's old as hell. It's in the old town, downtown Covina. So this building's been there since I want to say like 1800s.
Yeah.
The history of Covina, just look it up for me. It gets really gnarly, but it used to be like a brothel and then a doctor's office and then a mortuary.
Okay.
Downstairs. So where people get ready downstairs, mortuary, dead bodies used to be stored there.
Yeah.
And we've had things happen there all the time where faucets turn on, perfume you're smelling from the ladies, people getting pulled, lights turning on, off, and then the Hat Man on the second story floor. People talk about it all the time.
What is that? Is that just like a random guy in a hat, or is that like a common thing?
Shadow Man. It's like a Shadow Man with a top hat.
Somebody was just telling me a story. They're like, yeah, we were like he was talking about his childhood home. He's like, yeah, then the Hat Man just showed up and like told me about this the other day. Right. And I was like, is that a normal thing?
I've heard it's kind of like a normal thing before of like the Hat Man. It's always in a certain type of hat. I assume like an Abraham Lincoln hat.
I feel like it's like an old-timey hat.
That'd be funny if it's like a baseball cap.
Yeah, it's like a baseball.
Way off,
could be anyone, yeah.
Yeah, jester hat or something. But like, it's always this shadow, and you'll never see a face, you'll never see anything. It's just like a dark black entity masked, and it's always just leering at you, looking at you. But there has been multiple cases there at the Covina Playhouse for sure. So I wonder if it's like an energy thing that maybe it brings out, or if it maybe it just likes to be entertained. I don't know.
I don't know. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So you might want to do a ghost hunting thing. Yeah.
So you believe in paranormal, like the paranormal, like in general?
Absolutely.
I've
done ghost hunting too. Yeah.
What's like one of the craziest things that you've experienced?
Other than Covina, I did a modeling shoot up at the Winchester Mystery House. If you haven't already guessed it, yes, I'm here at the Winchester Mystery House.
Okay.
That plenty of, people have done investigations there. They talk about it. It's the house that's never been stopped building by Sarah Winchester. And we got to take pictures and film there early in the morning before they opened it up to tours, which means we are just roaming around at this house by ourselves. They're like, oh yeah, you can go into that area. And we're going to places that normal people don't usually get to go to. And I was also doing a YouTube video on it and filming throughout the halls and stuff. And there's just very weird energy there. But when I replayed my video back, oh man, definitely got what do they call those things? An EVPs?
Yeah, EVPs, yeah.
And it was us coming down the stairway, and immediately you could just hear like, get out, like from a female voice whisper. And I had to play it over and over. And I was like, that ain't anybody talking.
Yeah.
And so I put it up on my channel. I can give you guys the clip.
Whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do.
It is terrifying, and something didn't want us there early in the morning, but I would say that was pretty gnarly. And of course, the typical.
And this all happened like during the day, like early in the morning, or
early morning, so it's like still night.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So super early in the morning at the Winchester House, and it was a wild experience. So if you ever get to go there, I suggest you go there. It's wild.
Oh, that sounds really interesting. I definitely want to do that.
Yeah. It's Zach Baggins and all of them get to do it.
Yeah.
She used to have like a seance room and believe, and the house is bizarre the way it's shaped, and stairs that lead up to nowhere, doors that lead up to outside.
I have heard of this place.
Yeah, this is the Winchester. It's freaky. I suggest going there for sure.
No, that sounds awesome. Yeah, that that just from like my when I was a little kid, I told my great grandma that there was a ghost in their house. And
was that a lie or was that the truth?
No, I don't know. I don't remember. And she freaked the fuck out about it because she thought it was real. Like, or she thought like that was happening, and like I don't remember why I said that, and I kept saying it. I just remember me saying that. Like there's, it was so weird.
Did you feel?
Maybe
like,
I felt something,
to say it?
there's like some kind of like I don't remember like exactly why I said it or like if there was something that happened, but I just remember saying that. Then I remember my grandma being like, "Yeah, you really scared her." She's like freaking out about it.
Just playing pranks on
It
your
was like
poor grandma.
it was like an old house, you know, and yeah, I don't know.
Did you ever
Weird.
see anything there?
No, I never really did. I had a bunch of weird dreams about that place though.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of weird because you said the staircases that lead nowhere. I had a weird dream that place had more staircases than like a reoccurring thing.
So like a past house
Yeah.
rebuilding. Maybe it got burned in a fire,
Yeah.
earthquake.
And there was like there was part that like led up where there were stairs going up, and then it was just a broken like bridge. It was weird.
Ooh,
Yeah.
damn. Okay, so other than paranormal, have you ever met anybody like in Hollywood that you're like, something's up with you? Then I can't, and not just like weird behavior, but just like weird people in general, because
Yeah.
Hollywood is just a cesspool.
Yeah.
And I've met some people that I go, there is something up with that dude.
Yeah.
And I don't see auras or anything like that, but if I did, I was at
Yeah.
the Cicada Club once,
Mhm.
and I saw Drake Bell
Yeah.
sitting there by himself, and I went, that guy has this just black mass around him.
Oh, man.
And now he's coming out with all this crazy stuff. You see the Nickelodeon shows
Yeah,
that's going
yeah.
on? And I went,
Yeah,
there it was.
I
there
saw-
it is.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of his own stuff going
Yes,
on.
he does.
And then he also had, and then on the other end of it, it's like he definitely, like, there's a lot of people in Nickelodeon that had stuff that happened to them,
Just
you know?
child stars in general. I mean,
Yeah.
look at Amanda Bynes now, man. It kind of bumps me out.
Yeah.
But I've met a few in my life where I go, you were probably the strangest human being I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And I
Trying to think if there's anyone where this is like, one time I was at a White Castle in Indiana, and listen, this is the weirdest thing ever. There was this lady there that just kept staring at me the whole time, and this is before any video stuff or anything. Like I wasn't
Okay.
like, I was just a nobody at all. So she wasn't just like, but and then she kept like saying like weird like things about the end of times to me while she was eating her like White Castle, and she kept like saying like Bible verses and like biblical stuff to me.
Were you just listening to her while you were eating like fries?
Yeah, I was
and-
just like texting my friend like, please pick me up, dude. Like, you don't understand what's happening right now. And he's like, I haven't seen it be a while, and I'm like, dude.
People
and-
get crazy.
And it was like the winter, so I couldn't like just walk
Outside.
Yeah.
How cold was it outside?
It was like probably like,
-2.
yeah, it was something like that.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
So I just had to sit there and like have this lady like yelling at me, like not yelling, but she was like just saying weird stuff. I got the weirdest vibe from it, but also she could have just been some crazy person at White
Exactly,
Castle.
yeah.
Like, it's just like
There's always like that line of like, are you either crazy or are
Yeah.
you going through something that is actually kind of like a fact or something
Yeah.
weird? But like, I don't know. In the land of Hollywood, I met a celebrity. Get this. You want to hear my Jared Leto story?
Yes, I do.
I
I've
think-
heard a couple of Jared
As
Leto
have
stories.
I. So when I finally, it was like my turn, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to take this opportunity. I have no idea where it's going to go.
yeah.
But I think I have had the most boring interaction with Jared Leto on the planet at his house by
Yeah.
myself. Like, and it starts off. I am go-going at Halloween Horror Nights, which is the thing that happens at Universal Studios.
Yeah,
it's the
yeah.
Halloween, thing. And the Go-Go's are girls scantily clad dancing in the cage right when you walk in. Most people don't get past us
Yeah.
because they start messing with us and they get kicked out in 2 seconds. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great. He is there. He's celebrating something with his team. He walks up to me and he's like, with his long hair, and he's like,
Yeah.
what's your name? Getting all the information. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay. Has to have his assistant come up to get my name, number, email.
Mm-hmm.
And he like snaps his fingers too very quickly, like as if this is a routine. This is,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
assistant too is like, okay, I need your email and this, and I'm like, oh, we've been down this road before, haven't we?
Yeah.
So I'm already very wary. I don't like
Yeah.
Jared Leto. I don't like his music. I don't like anything.
Yeah.
But it's Jared Leto, and this was around the time where he was doing what's that movie that he did? like $1 million, like he almost won an Academy Award for it. Where Matthew McConaughey was in it.
With Suicide Squad?
No, I was gonna say
No,
Requiem
that was
for a
coming
Dream.
up after.
No, it was Dallas Buyers Club.
Dallas Buyers Club. So
Yeah.
this is around that time. He just won the Academy Award for
Yeah.
it or something like that. And anyway, he's trying to get me to come over to his place or just hang out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very wary because I have friends who have hung out with Jared
Yeah.
Leto, and I've heard weird stories about Jared Leto. So
Yeah.
I'm cautious. And finally, he tricks me one day because I keep making up stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm too busy. I can't do it. And I go, I got Waterworld tonight, which is the stunt show at Universal Studios. And I can't make it. I got rehearsal. And he's like, wait, Waterworld, that's at Universal, right? And I go, yeah. He goes, oh, I live right around the corner. Come on by right after. And I went, fuck. So not only did I have to show up to his house, but I had to show up to his house looking like I was at rehearsal.
Yeah.
So in leggings and like Def Leppard
Yeah.
tank top, just like, hey, beanie up. So, and he lives right by, or at this time, he lived right by Universal about
Yeah,
the...
let's dox him too. I'm joking.
Yeah, right by, this is his address.
Sorry.
He lives right by like that, what's that, porn building? Like it's a big, like Vivid Entertainment.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, up in those Hollywood Hills area.
Yeah.
And so I'm very nervous and I'm texting my roommate. I go, here's my number, here's my location. If I go missing, Jared Leto killed me. And simple as that. I'm very wary and it's like late at night.
Yeah.
And I'm going, I don't know what this guy is about to do or what he's thinking.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. So I'm ready to fight if that's the case.
Yeah.
But I have to go just because the story is it's just too good.
Yeah, yeah.
So here I go, driving up the hills. I walk in, all the lights of the house are off. Great sign.
Yeah, great.
Lovely. I walk in and I see his door is slightly kind of pushed open, so I push it open even more. Lights are still off. And I don't know if you believe in like conspiracy theories or like weird things in life.
Yeah.
Or like Illuminati people or whatever.
Yeah.
But I look in his living room and he doesn't have like a normal couch or chairs. What he does have, though, is you ever seen the movie Clockwork Orange?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
His house is just the set of Clockwork
Great
Orange.
family film. Let's start it off.
Yeah.
You know those weird statues that are like the milking titty statues and
Yeah.
stuff? He has those that I think he bought off of an auction. All in his living room. So the moonlight's shining through the living room with the lights off, and you just see these weird titty statues. And I went, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Also, what a terrible movie
Yeah.
to like in a terrible setting, walking into a
Yeah,
strange
yeah.
man's house and going, of course you like this film, don't you? Of course you do. Yeah, if you've seen this film, you know. And then I hear like a scuffle coming at me, and here comes Jared Leto walking down his hallway with slippers, blue pajamas, unbuttoned all the way almost down to his navel, bunch
Yeah.
of necklaces, and looking like Jesus in pajamas. And he's like, welcome, neighbor. And gives me a hug. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck I'm in for.
Yeah.
And so he's like, come over to the kitchen. And, there's nothing I could talk about with somebody who has all their awards just thrown up on the kitchen window sink.
Yeah.
Like, fuck it. His
Yeah.
Academy Award is just thrown up there.
Yeah.
And he's like, I made vegan pizza. Let's have some. Because he's a vegan,
Yeah, yeah.
apparently found that out that night.
Yeah. Was the pizza any good?
No, it was terrible. It was vegan. Of course it was horrible. And he doesn't drink either. So he had like bubbly, kind of like that fake champagne
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So he's pouring me that. But like, what do you talk about with a man who's really done everything? What am I going to say that is going to impress this man? Nothing.
Yeah.
So we talked around in circles, and he noticed clearly that I was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And he's like, he even reached over and he was like, I'm not, don't worry, I'm not going to do anything. And I
Yeah.
must have been like this the entire time in the kitchen because I must have been a nervous wreck. But he answered just weird questions of like, so what are you into? What's your love like? And when I asked him the same
Yeah.
questions, he would like answer like a politician in a circle. So I was like, well, nothing like I said, what do you say to somebody like
Yeah.
this? And then he showed me around his house for a bit. And I looked at him and I went, well, this was nice. I'll see you later. He goes, oh, really? And I go, yeah, I'll see you. And he goes, all right, well, let me show you the door then. He gives me a hug. He goes, you know where I live now, neighbor? I go, sure do. And I fucking leave. That must be the most boring story.
That's so funny, though.
I wonder if he just, like, called somebody else, though, after me. Like, that one didn't work, you know?
Yeah, just gives them the same tour.
Yes, it's the pajamas, though.
Yeah.
It's the silk matching blue pajamas.
It would have been so creepy if he would have, like, just showed up, like, he comes out, he's just dressed like the guy from Clockwork Orange.
I was waiting for it.
I was just like, okay, dude.
Who has that? Who has that in their house? Out of all the movies, like, why? Way to make a girl uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? The last thing I need is him in that boulder hat or whatever he's wearing.
Dude, didn't they, like, have you ever seen the movie Ready Player One?
No, I haven't.
There's all these different CGI characters,
right.
And the Clockwork Orange people were just there. I was just like, what the fuck?
Why not? They're terrible. They're horrifying.
Yeah.
I don't know. Men in white skinny pants. Terrifying.
Yeah, no.
Suspenders. So, yeah, that's
that
my
is
Hollywood
terrifying
story. Isn't that weird?
Yeah,
but boring.
It was still entertaining, though.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Most people are like, oh, yeah, I met Elvis once. You're like, yeah, I met Jared Leto. We ate vegan pizza in his kitchen while he just talked about nothing. What a charmer. Yeah, so man. I don't suggest it, though. Don't do what I did. That was a risky thing we were playing with. I think I
don't go to his house.
No, don't go to his house late at night. You know, whatever.
He's like, you want to run some lines with me?
He was about to do.
We're gonna do Requiem for the Dream 2.
Yeah, another great damn film.
I'm gonna get my arm back, like bionic arm.
I don't know if he was like also practicing his Joker voice on me at this time, because around that time he was about to become him.
That is terrifying if he was.
Just imagine if I walked in and just hear his laugh.
Definitely one of the lesser versions of the Joker.
It's
probably
true.
could have done without it.
Well, did you see Bill Skarsgård, the Crow? Recently, the images of this?
I saw some pictures.
Speaking of something that looks like Jared Leto.
They probably shouldn't have done that either. No.
Why did they do that? Like, I mean, I love Bill Skarsgård, but he had to, when they started putting those spacey kind of tattoos on him, he had to look at the makeup artist and go, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
They really love to just ruin good things, you know?
They do. They really do. Especially something so badass that is so beloved.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a man with a white makeup, they just seem to
Did
make
they already
him
finish filming
look
that?
stupider. I think they did.
Okay, so it didn't happen to him too.
No, but I don't know if they could. I don't know if they could change it though, like the CG.
That would have been insane, dude.
Corbin, maybe cut that part out. I'm not sure.
I think it's fine.
Weird
man.
ass people.
Yeah.
Hollywood's weird.
Hollywood is weird. So, are you from around here?
Yeah.
Oh, you're from here?
Yeah, I'm from West Covina. That's how I know everything about the Covina Playhouse.
That makes sense.
OG, born and raised here, so I'm used to the crazies a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I'm just drawn to craziness. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you got put on one of the most intense shows.
Yeah.
I mean, for your body, your mental health, everything. Oh my gosh. But also very fun.
It was definitely very fun. Very, mentally, it was just like everything's probably a prank. So I was freaking out about that the whole time.
I bet. Do you have like PTSD from it? Do you still think something's going to happen to you?
No, not really. I mean, we're out of that environment now. So like my therapist said it's okay now. No, everything's chill. Like, I mean, it was more like, even at the same time when you are freaking out about like, oh, is someone going to prank me? It's like, I was also hoping that would happen, because that would just mean that's another good clip, like if it works, you know.
Yeah, anything's good, right?
Yeah.
Even if you're getting beat the shit out of.
Yeah. I mean, and especially in that world, like, I don't know, because that's how I started just doing stuff, was just like stunt stuff, and it's like you have to usually get hurt for it to be good. So
For it to work, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it clearly works, so congrats on that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how long have you been making content for and making stuff and whatnot?
I would say true content for about 6 years. I'm terrible at it. I'm very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need somebody to be like, you need to do this once a week, not once a year, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel that. Yeah, it's all about consistency.
It totally
I
is.
could be way better at consistency as well. So
You showed up here today.
yeah, no, this
That's
has
good.
probably been the most consistent thing that I've done in a long time. This podcast.
Note to the viewers at home, I drove Zach.
Yeah, no, he had to drive. No, he didn't have to, but I was like, it would be easier if he did.
If you could for
Yeah.
me, please. Well, good.
Yeah, they have to wake me up and drive me here.
Please stop at the store so I can
Yeah.
get a snack before I come here.
Sometimes, not really a snack, but I'll have to get water or something. I mean,
It's great though.
yeah,
But I will say, all my content has led up to stuff. I mean, we're all continuously working on to our goal.
yeah.
Like, what may I ask you? Like, what is your like? Oh, that's what I want. That's what I want to do. Or have you already done it?
I don't think I've already done it. I mean, I don't know. I just want to continually be like working in entertainment, I guess. So like,
Sure.
I mean, and I'm sort of going down a couple different paths because I mean, I'm doing stand up and like I want to continue to keep doing stand up and like going up that ladder and just getting better. I feel like I am getting better, but I want to get to the point where I can like have a comedy special and then like do more, tour around more and like be like selling out and that kind of stuff and just be like making people laugh, really. Like that's the whole point of it in the end of the
Just to
day.
make people laugh. Yeah.
But yeah, just being able to do like stand up with, just stand up a bunch of different places,
That's
So
exciting.
yeah, so there's that, and then like I want to get into like acting just in general, just comedic and like regular act, just like dramatic acting, I guess too.
Dramatic acting.
Yeah, I'm down for anything.
Oh.
Yeah. I want to just do a bunch of stuff. And I don't know, and I also like being like behind the camera. So I'm like trying to write some stuff and just I'm always trying to figure out.
Basically everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to do everything.
Yeah.
I'm also making like music stuff right now.
So you did it. I'm
Yeah.
into poetry. But
Yeah, no, we're not doing any poetry really yet. I mean, I'll probably release like a book of poetry on my deathbed or something. But yeah.
I mean, yeah. you
Yeah,
do
poems
a little
to
bit
die
of
to.
everything. I mean, might as well. It gives you some goals to do and
Yeah.
things. I don't know. Yeah, I totally get that, though. I feel you on that one.
But yeah, I'm just like always. It's sort of like nowadays you almost have to do everything. Like kind of like
Yes. You have
to
to be your
succeed.
producer, your
Yeah.
editor, your this, your that. It gets exhausting, and I don't think people really know
yeah,
how much it takes to just make content. today.
yeah. There's definitely a lot that goes into it, and like just making YouTube videos, and it's like, oh, cool. I just filmed this thing. Now I have to edit it.
Yeah,
Or it's
great.
like I have to get someone else to edit it or something. It's just
Yeah, either you edit it or you have to pay somebody to edit, and sometimes
Yeah.
you need to make money in order to do it. So
Yeah.
it's a cycle of hell.
yeah. And then like getting to the point where you're like making money from stuff is like that's just a whole process in itself too. So it's just like.
I get it.
It's a lot. Because like when I started off doing the stunt stuff, like I was just like doing crazy stuff, like hoping that it would work out, And then eventually it did, but yeah.
Was there ever like a limit to something that you wouldn't do in stunts?
I wouldn't do anything that would like mess up, like do it, like I wouldn't do anything that would like put my eyes at risk.
Ah,
So I
Okay.
already have to wear glasses, so like it's already bad. Like my vision is not amazing. So even like people like even just like pepper like normal things where like someone's like, oh, getting pepper sprayed, like I don't want to do any of that.
Really?
Yeah, no, I
Pepper
don't.
spray okay, but launched by a rocket cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah, pretty much. Like I would rather not do anything
People-
that's like immediate, like anything, any eye stuff. No.
Well, I remember you lost some teeth. Do you
Yeah,
have
no,
your
I
teeth-
definitely lost some teeth.
Teeth
I have
are
some.
okay.
I have some fake teeth now. Yeah. So I mean, it's awesome. Like where technology is now.
Oh, yeah.
Modern dentistry.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Yeah, how many did you lose in the front? I remember one
There
for
was
sure.
one from like an actual stunt, and then like I just wasn't taking care. I just didn't take care of my teeth, and
They're
then like
easy to
another
go.
one's gone, and then like when they're already bad, it's just like, dude, now it's like you gotta get rid of these things.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
Well, you got a new set of pearlet whites.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah.
Now you can knock them out, so
Yeah,
you can just
yeah,
replace
now
them
I can-
again.
Yeah, now if I knock them out, those go get new ones.
Definitely replaceable. Eyes are not though, so I
Yeah.
totally get you on that one.
I think
yeah.
that is. I think you can get an eye transplant, but I think
Wait.
it's pretty.
You can?
I'm pretty sure you can. Like, depending. Is
What
that
if
a
you
thing?
get-
Can you look
is it-
that up?
Is that possible? An eye transplant? Like, and will you be able to see out of it? I mean, it's one thing just to stick a weird
I'm
marble
almost
in your head.
positive that is somewhat of
so
a
you
thing.
can get a cornea transplant, and it's to remove all or part of the damaged cornea and replace it with healthy tissue. But
And you'll be able to see.
and you should be able to see after that. Yeah,
So you can't like get your whole eyeball though.
it doesn't look like it's the whole eyeball. That's like a science fiction thing, but just part of it.
Okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. No, because there was this one dude that like I knew like growing up that like I don't really know him that well. I just knew of him, but it was just someone at school. Like they like got their eye like so they got shot in the eye with a BB gun, and then they were like,
Shoot your eye out, kid.
and then eventually they were like hoping that they could eventually get like their eye like
Right.
fixed like later in life.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
didn't the David Dobrik and his friend, that guy, didn't that guy screw up his eye?
Yeah, yeah.
He
I
has a
mean,
podcast
There was
too or
a
something.
like a bad accident, and he ended up hitting his eye. Like he ended up like getting his eye.
Like, how many surgeries do you think he went through?
A lot. I mean, I don't think you can see still really.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
think
see,
it's
now
a pretty-
that.
Yeah, no, it's just like I mean, I feel like hopefully we get to a point where it's like, oh, we can just replace eyes, Like that would be
Like
really
Repo?
cool. Yeah, like that would be
Genetic
really
opera.
cool. I mean, like I'm surprised we're not even at that point yet in modern medicine.
Well, maybe
I
we
feel like
are,
it'd be
but
so expensive
to us.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the public would normally could afford it.
Yeah, no, I don't
know?
think they would be able to afford
Yeah,
it.
I
Like
don't think so
it
either.
would be like so unobtainable.
Yeah.
It's like a normal person, I guess. But I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
the healthcare system's so fucked.
It's screwed up.
Yeah.
It's screwed up.
If
We
you
all
don't
know
have
that.
insurance,
You're
it's just
fucked.
like
You're
you're
so
so
fucked.
fucked.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
I feel you on that one for
The
sure.
transplant costs $3,000 to $5,000 per eye, and that's just the corneal transplant.
That's a
That's-
boob job.
Yeah.
That's like technically cheaper than I thought you were gonna
I
say.
don't know how I know that, but that's
Yeah.
a boob job. So
Yeah.
your eye
Yeah.
or a new set of boobs.
Yeah,
How
I
about
think the eye is necessary.
that? To some. There might be some
no, there's probably
lovely
somebody
ladies out
that's
there.
just like, give me the boobs,
Give me the
like,
boobs. They wouldn't be able to see them though. They
Yeah.
could look terrible for all they know.
yeah, they wouldn't. They would just know how they felt and everything, and all their senses would be like super heightened.
Super.
Yeah,
There are choices in life.
yeah, there are choices to make, and they all, you know.
Oh, Lord. That was a choice. I don't know.
How'd you get into horror as a kid?
Watching TV.
Yeah,
Like any good old kid. But I'll say this. What year were you born?
91.
Oh, me too.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so we're 91 babies. Perfect.
1 month,
And November 11th.
September
11.
11th.
Oh, so, we're both
Yeah.
11s.
Yeah.
You know what they say in numerology? The 11s? They say
No.
charisma. People with
Charisma,
charisma.
nice.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how
Yeah.
TikTok teaches me a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
You just have to accept it.
Yeah.
But I feel like since we're 90s babies, we grew up in that age of like, I don't know. I think we got the best age of horror for kids. They
Yeah.
really pushed it upon us because I
Oh,
think
yeah, yeah,
candy
100%.
companies capitalized on us. And then all of a sudden we got like TV shows like Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Are You Afraid of
and
the Dark was amazing.
Goosebumps.
Goosebumps
series.
was sick.
Like, and the first Disney Channel original movie that came out was a horror one, and it was called Under Wraps with Adam
oh,
Wiley.
yeah. Under
And-
Wraps was good.
And that's what started everything on the Disney
Yeah.
Channel for original movies. They started with the horror film.
Yeah.
So I think there was just something about 90s kids of this resurgence of horror
Mm-hmm.
since like the 1950s. Because the 1950s we saw it with like the
Yeah.
Munsters, the Addams Family. It
Yeah.
made sense, right? And we didn't really see anything for kids later
Mm-hmm.
on in that mid 70s. We saw a couple things in the 80s,
Yeah.
but for like kid stuff, no, it was the 90s, man. All Real Monsters was a typical TV show for us to watch on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
So
great.
this is what we grew up on. Even commercials and candy and everything started capitalizing and taking Halloween seriously as a holiday other than just Christmas. You know, we started seeing Halloween commercials, creepy crawlers and stuff like that. So I blame the 90s marketers for everything that has happened.
They did it right.
Truly. And I feel like that's why we're having such a boom again in horror because the 90s kids now grew up. We kind of have money. And guess what we're spending it on? Fucking Goosebumps, movie books, and memorabilia and weird shit. So I think I blame everything from my childhood Goosebumps series and all those marketers, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember, like, what your favorite episode of How You Afraid of the Dark, or Are You Afraid of the Dark was?
I don't remember my favorite, but I remember the scariest one.
Oh, which one was
I don't remember the
one
name, but it had to do with a comic book and a jester, the Laughing Man or something like that.
The Ghastly Grinner.
The Ghastly Grinner, thank you.
Oh, okay.
It was like this comic book store of this haunted comic book with like this jester-looking dude that laughs, and they put it in like a microwave or something, and he comes to life, like real life, and they have to rewrite the story, and it's this terrible-looking jester that makes everybody laugh with blue, looks like goo coming out of their mouth, and that scared the living shit out of me. But honestly, most of the time when I watch like Are You Afraid of the Dark, I wouldn't even get past the opening credits because it was just terrifying watching the boat float. And
I fucking loved that opening so much.
It's iconic.
Yeah,
with the kids around like the little dust.
Yeah,
making the fire all poof up when they tell their story. What about you?
Have they ever tried to remake Are You Afraid of the Dark?
I think they did. Yeah,
I don't know guess
if
it didn't
well.
like work.
It wasn't like a one-off thing where everything was a different story. It was like all the same story for like 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't nearly as good as the original.
Well, why the fuck did they do that? Who was in charge of that shit?
Money. Mr. Money was in charge.
There we go.
Yeah,
Money likes to ruin
dude.
things.
They really ruined it.
Yeah, but that was good. Do you have a favorite episode? Do you remember?
I remember there was this one where this like weird thing was like in the school pool. I remember that one. The one with the doll, it was like a I think that actually is a Goosebumps thing.
The puppet? Are you talking about the puppet?
one.
That's
that was terrifying. For Goosebumps. I'm trying to think. There's one where this girl turns into a doll.
Okay.
And Are You Afraid of the Dark? That was pretty scary too.
Yeah, I remember like an aliens one too with like no faces.
Oh
and,
yeah.
There was a couple that scared the living crap out of me as a kid.
That show was great.
Well, we also had another opening that I couldn't stand. As soon as I heard it on the television, I had to like run out of the room or something. Was the X-Files?
Oh yeah.
That weird theremin or whatever that sound is, which I do like now, but that scared the living shit out of me as a kid.
Yeah, that would always scare the shit out of me too. I was super into watching reruns of Unsolved Mysteries as a kid.
Well, those are also real.
Yeah. Well, that was even scarier.
That's
to me.
That's the problem. Like that stuff actually.
And the thing is with that show, like sometimes they would get into like really weird, like it wouldn't always be like just a murder or something. Sometimes it would be like aliens or like some weird thing,
Wendigos or something.
Yeah, there would be like some crazy thing. I remember one. There was like about this family that kept like spontaneously combusting. Like.
What were they eating?
I don't know. They just kept like it was like multiple people spontaneously combusted, or like, or maybe then there was another one where it was like multiple people in the same family line, like everyone got killed by getting struck by lightning at different points in time.
Oh, that's a curse then.
Yeah,
that's some like gypsy stuff. You know, like gypsy curses. You don't mess with that at all.
And like one of them was ground lightning, which I didn't know was a thing.
Ground lightning.
It's like light. It comes from the ground.
How is that?
I don't know. It's
combustion and now ground lightning. I'm gonna go home and look this shit up because I don't even know. Is that a thing? Ground lightning?
For the record, Zach, that human combustion episode from '97 has a multitude of articles written about it for being one of the most memorable and horrifying episodes.
Yeah.
Mysteries. Yeah.
I remember watching that episode and being like, "This is insane."
What was it? What made them combust? I need to know.
Yeah,
gas?
I don't know. I think they were
the area that they were like around, maybe.
Yeah, maybe they didn't figure it out.
That's the mystery.
It's the
Well, it is
unsolved part
unsolved
of
mystery.
it.
Yeah, that's right.
Didn't they also have sometimes like solve the mysteries though?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, that would defeat the purpose of the show if they solved it.
Come to their surprise,
Yeah, I know,
they
but
solved
sometimes
it.
I think you could like call in with information though or something. Or am I confusing like America's Most Wanted with it now?
They did that for unsolved mysteries too.
like if you know where the ground lightning is, you can call in and give us a tip and like.
But it's the biggest selling thing right now. I talked to one of my like little producer friends that goes to all like the big producer meetings where everybody's kind of like selling different shows and stuff and like who's going to get what. She says that the murder mystery stuff is they bought like 10 episodes for Netflix and
this is really good for us.
It's true. It's skyrocketed. It is the most expensive and like useful thing that all the shows right now, channels, they're buying them like in loads because it's the highest rated stuff. People love seeing murder.
They do. I go like, dude, and I always look for new documentaries to watch like all the time. I'm a huge true crime person. I love watching true crime stuff.
Totally.
I just watched this thing called The Octopus Murders. It's not octopus.
It has nothing to do with a serial killing octopus.
No, nothing like that. That would be really interesting too, though.
8 murders.
But this for some reason I'm thinking of like a giant like octopus, sort of like Nessie or something from like Loch Ness. It's just, but
it has nothing to do with that.
yeah, no, it's nothing to do with that. It's like all these conspiracy theories of different people in different parts of government, all working together. Like,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, so it's like the legs.
And when it's all charted out, it looks like an octopus.
Right. Oh my god.
And I just finished that yesterday. That was really good.
That's a good one. I watched one too about this crazy girlfriend stalker one. It's on Netflix too. It's like trending right now too. That one has a bunch of
that one's good.
Twists and turns where you think it's one girl, but
it's actually a different
dead.
one. And like, oh my god, that one was good.
Creepy stalker women. Yeah.
There was this weird one where it's like this. I watched this one on Netflix where it was like someone's calling in and like and they're calling into like restaurants and stuff. And they're like, hey, like we're the police. We think that, this person is stealing from you or whatever. You're going to have to do you're going to have to search them. And it turns into this whole thing where the guy thinks he's talking to a cop, or the manager thinks they're talking to a cop. It's not always a guy, but it's pretty much they'll be like, okay, we have to strip search you right now. And then they're getting arrested for fucking doing fucked up shit that this guy's telling him to do that he thinks is a cop. And it's like, then they find out that it's actually this other guy that's pretending to be a cop somewhere else that's causing all these problems. And they arrest, and they can't even actually arrest him at the end.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Don't pick up the phone. That's what
don't pick up the phone.
Don't pick up the phone ever.
Super fucked up. But yeah, there's that. I mean, I don't know. I've watched a lot of true crime stuff.
I mean, that sounds like the ultimate prank call to me. Like you're taking it too far.
Yeah, he definitely had very sinister, like weird motives with it. It was weird.
People are weird.
Yeah, they are
weird. Of course. Do you remember where it was located? Midwest.
Yeah, I think so, actually. I think he was somewhere in the Midwest. He was actually in Florida, and he's using calling cards, so they wouldn't be able to track him.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
He had this planned out.
Yeah.
That's a planner. Type A.
Yeah.
Personality. Type A weirdo.
I was really into the Zodiac Killer stuff for a while.
The mystery of the Zodiac.
Yeah.
It's how he did it, I think is fascinating, but there's that couple kill is what I think irritates me the most. I feel so bad. The way he I don't know, he would kill them both right in front of each other. I feel like that's so sad.
It definitely is. Yeah. But makes for a good doc.
It's fucking cool though.
Makes for a good movie too.
But yeah, I mean, I've always liked horror, and it's been, I think, part of our lives, and it's getting bigger than ever. Have you noticed that?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's growing rapidly, and I don't know why. Either people are more in fear, or like I said, 90s kids have finally reached that peak of all right, we want to see what we used to see.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, no, I want to see Are You Afraid of the Dark like the right way, like redone. That would be sick.
Would it be more adult, like actually scary?
That would be cool too. I mean, it doesn't have to be for kids. Like we can just take that part out of the equation.
Yeah, well,
just
yeah,
make
then it
it,
becomes
like-
just Twilight Zone kind of.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Oh, didn't
can-
Jordan Peele recreate the Twilight Zone? How did
Yeah, I mean,
that last?
I don't know if it lasted that long.
No. Great
I mean, wasn't it
idea.
on regular TV though?
I don't know. I
It was on
remember
an
HBO.
I think it was on NBC for a little bit.
And then it was like streamed like the next day or something, probably.
Yeah.
But like the thing is, when you're putting yourself in the market of doing stuff that goes on actual TV, even if it is good, if people aren't watching, you know what I mean? It's like a whole other thing. You're setting yourself up for failure almost by doing a real TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to get something.
It's just hard. It sort of just depends what it is too.
Well, also their choices sometimes of what they do decide to keep and what they decide to get rid of has always been a little odd to me. Like I used to be a big fan of there's a show called Christine McConnell's Curious Creations.
Yeah.
And she is like the Martha Stewart of Halloween. This woman makes incredible things. And not only that, but the show had Henson puppets on it of these monster puppets and everything. And while she made these things for you with a slight storyline of comedic horror. And she looks like this 1950s housewife. It lasted for a season. It had like 5-star rating, amazing rating on Rotten Tomatoes, huge fan base, canceled after one fucking season because they just said, oh, it's too expensive, you know, but we get other stupid ass shows, you know. It makes me so upset. It makes me, and I don't know. And when you go to the cons and you see her, and you see how long her damn line is, and I go, was this really necessary? Like, you couldn't have given it's just one set. What's the big deal? I don't know. It's interesting what they decide to pick and choose.
Yeah, it's really wild. Like, I don't know. I'm a huge fan of any Jim Henson puppet type thing.
Exactly.
I like the Muppets a lot.
The Muppets are awesome.
The Muppets are sick. And just anything with the Jim Henson, like, creature shop was sick.
Yeah, they got... What, like a labyrinth thing going on right now over there?
Yeah.
Dark Crystal Labyrinth, weird.
Yeah.
Something.
I remember Labyrinth very well. I'm being like, dude, what is this? When I saw it as a kid.
Right. Well,
It was David Bowie's penis. That's what
it was.
Yeah,
David
I was like,
Bowie's.
okay, that part was. I was like, they need to calm down with that.
I
dude.
want to know who made that choice, and Bowie's like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing the movie unless I wear these pants.
Yeah. So where are these pants?
That's
And-
impression.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, like it is distracting, isn't it?
Yeah,
the
no,
entire
it
time,
was.
and he's just chasing this like 14-year-old baby.
Yeah, I remember like being a kid and being like, what? Man, this is gonna fuck me up
But
later.
you ignore it because puppets.
Yeah.
But it's cool. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I love like the whole like thing where it's like, okay, these puppets are like, it's not necessarily like it's like so much better than CG to me.
way better.
Yeah, practical effects just in general are so much cooler looking.
It is. It's like such a lost art, and I don't know what happened or why the studios don't get it. And that's also a thing I'm kind of mad at Tim Burton for,
Yeah.
because he used to be the man of like practical effects. Like, let's go for it. Bought an entire neighborhood for Edward Scissorhands and painted all the buildings just for the sake of the film. And now we get like CG Tim Burton, and I go, you lost me. I don't know what happened. I want that OG version of him.
Yeah,
back.
so much better.
It's so much better, and it lasts. Like, you ever seen the movie Legend? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Talk about incredible practical effects and makeup and everything, and people are just getting snubbed now. And I have friends who are on Face Off and stuff like that, and it's really hard for them because nobody wants to fucking do it anymore. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
I
cheaper.
really think it needs to be brought back.
I think
Like
so, too.
practical is so much better. Like I think did you see the movie Talk to Me?
Yeah, I did.
That movie was sick. I was so excited. Like I think like his like him like being all like possessed or whatever,
Right.
a lot of that's practical.
Majority of the movie
yeah,
is. I didn't really notice even the ghost sucking
Yeah.
his toes. And
Yeah.
that I think that was
Yeah,
like,
they're
all
like,
right.
okay, you're gonna have to suck the toes for real, everyone.
You want to be famous, don't you?
Yeah.
No, but
Imagine just like pretending to suck CG toes.
What would that look like? Like a green foot?
Yeah, then they could like change it to anything in post. Like,
Oh my God. That's the last thing that I'm sure that person would want.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you going to do with that
Yeah,
footage?
you're so much safer with practical.
Totally. But yeah, I love practical, and I think it should be. There was this movie, I don't know if you ever saw it. It's kind of like a cult film. It's like Onyx and the something. I don't know. It came out, but he uses everything practical effects and filmed all here in Burbank, actually.
Oh, that's sick.
And he used this guy named called Creature Kid. And if you ever just look up Creature Kid for fun.
I will.
This shop is incredible. And I've never seen more puppets since Henson stuff until I watched this like cult film that like streamed a bunch of, what do they call those kind of films that go to like film festivals and stuff? Like he won a couple things on that. Onyx and the
Onyx.
I know it's Onyx the Fortuitous and
Fortuitous.
something.
Yes.
Or
it's that kid that's like who fakes
Andrew,
like
Andrew.
yeah.
He was the fake Wendy's employee where there was
He's like I don't know.
That guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The darkness, the devil of the darkness.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
That kid made his own film of that character, and it's actually pretty fucking good.
Oh, hell
There's
yeah.
a whole
I'm gonna have to check that out. That sounds awesome.
It's pretty fucking awesome. And if you like practical effects, this movie has it. It's a horror based too, a horror
Fuck
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I
That's
suggest it.
fucking sick.
Yeah, I like it.
So, how'd you become Gwengoolie?
It's a very good question. Thank you for asking.
Thank you.
Like I said, I've been into horror, and surprisingly, my goal in life was never like, oh, I want to be an actress or like something famous. I wanted to be a horror host. I loved horror host, and that's why I started kind of doing it on my channel of like this weird B film kind of puppets and stuff that would come out. I have fucking puppets on my YouTube channel for hair tutorials. Who the fuck does that? But I did because I like it, and I just always kind of set it out into the universe. I think I'm a pretty good manifester. If I say it, it usually happens. And I was like, well, I want to be it, but horror hosts don't really exist today. We had Elvira in the 80s, a little bit of her in the 90s, and they kind of like died out. They fizzled out. Yeah. So there really isn't a channel for it anymore, which kind of sucks. So I thought the only thing to go on is YouTube.
Yeah, well, it makes sense.
It would make sense, right? That's the newest platform. Here we are. But one day, there's this show called, or this horror host called Svengoolie. And he's been around since 1979. Yeah. Even earlier than that, but he's the son of Svengoolie, Rich Cause. Yeah. And when he took over, he's been on the air that fucking long.
Yeah, I remember seeing that as a kid.
1979, especially, from Indiana, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's totally East Coast. That's his thing. Yeah. He's old. He's getting up there. He's what, 73? Yeah. Yeah. Like, he's up there. Let that sink in. Still working all the time, day to day. And he posted a thing that was like, I'm looking for, at this time it was called The Spawn of Svengoolie. And my friend reached out to me and was like, have you seen this? Like, you should try. And I'm like, no, because we don't have typical cable, so it's hard. We don't really get that channel out here in the West Coast. People on the West Coast don't know about Svengoolie. We know Elvira and Vampira. That's about it. And a little bit of Vincent Price in there, and Crypt Keeper from Tales of the Crypt. But so I did. I auditioned for it, just threw my hat in the ring. You had to do a video submission like American Idol. Crap. 6 or 7 auditions later, being flown to Chicago, they test you on writing, comedy, anything else you want to bring to the table, improv. And I happened to be there with another person that day. They brought in like 3 people a month. Or, no, sorry, 3 people a week in different groups a month. I happened to be paired up with the person that also got cast as the Spawn as well, Imp Scott. And they actually kept us there that day, and they made us do an improv together. So that's when we kind of knew maybe there was more than one Spawn. Yeah. And yeah, we eventually got the call, and here I am, just showing up on his damn set.
Hell yeah.
And I did a podcast with my friend talking about horror hosts just a couple weeks before I even auditioned for this thing. And here I am now as a co-host for his show to keep like this, I don't know, new ideas and new things kind of flowing. And just to see if we are maybe the ones to take on after. I don't know. It depends on him. It's whatever he wants to do. But that's where I've ended up now, and it's mostly in Chicago, but it's nationwide. I mean, you see us everywhere if you have it on the channels or whatever, but it's just trying to get us to the West Coast is hard to notice, but that's why I based my character here I call it Hollyweird. So I was like, use me. I could take you over where everything happens, where everything's filmed. Like, so yeah, it's just been an interesting ride and a lot of learning experience and a lot of stuff that we've done behind the scenes that have not even been shown yet. We've been shown like maybe 5 times in little tidbits here and there because I think we're gearing up for something pretty big, pretty interesting.
Hell yeah.
But I just want to keep it going on. I want to keep that horror host type terrible comedy campiness B film going on. I'd never want to change it because it's something that I like dearly.
Yeah,
so.
no, I love that stuff too.
I do too. It's like shitty bat on strings. Like, let's go. Let's
keep
have
it
it.
coming.
Terrible. Like terrible bad jokes and puns and all that stuff. So I want to keep it going. But the fan base, oh my God. I have posted some comments that the fan base a lot of them are boomers. I'm going to say that right now. And they're all on Facebook because not a lot of them
gosh,
lose. So Facebook, if you know, Facebook is a cesspool of hell. And I unfortunately read a couple of the comments. And my favorite one, though, I screenshotted it, posted it on my Instagram, and it said something like this. So I was like, even though she's got a fat ass neck and a pretty big head, she's still pretty hot, though. You know?
What?
Or yeah, a thick ass neck and a fat ass head, but she's still I had to screenshot it. I was like, checkmate, sir. I was like, thank you so much. They were ripping me to shreds in there, those damn boomers. You know, and that show has always had Sven on it for years.
Yeah.
And they've never had a female. Oh, on that show. And then as soon as I show up and that Instagram started going, they didn't know what to do because they put it on Instagram, and I don't think Sven has ever gotten eggplant emojis before. And they were like freaking out because they're a small mom and pop kind of Me TV as a business, and they're like, oh my god, and just all these old boomers just making the nastiest things. She's like, she isn't the only thing waking up from the dead, you know, and making all these damn comments. And I go, here we go, this is what you get, like this is what we get. And I'm tame, you know, I'm not Elvar, I'm not showing the big old titties, like that. I have to keep it family friendly. And there's people that are pissed that it's not so family friendly because they think being a horror host, you have to either have huge tits and show the tits. That's the thing. No, that was just Elvira's thing. You know, but they're like, show more cleavage. And then some think that I am like an OnlyFans or a porn store or something like that. And I go, where are you guys getting this information?
What the fuck?
It's vile. It is absolutely vile. These people are unhinged. Boomers are unhinged on Facebook.
They really are.
So it takes a woman to throw in there, and they just they lose their damn mind. Oh well, it's been fun.
No, that's awesome though.
Thank you.
That's so funny. So how do you incorporate horror into your own content?
Well, my entire content is based off vintage. So that's the base of it. But to me, there's a lot of, it's already like been done. And I just wanted to be something different and also true to myself. So I take those influences from the Munsters and the Addams Family, those old kind of 1960s, 1950s campy things, and I incorporate it into my YouTube channel. Or just my aesthetic in general. And I call it the pink and spooky effect. If it's pink, everything is vintage and girly and adorable and hair and makeup. But if it's spooky, well, it's pretty self-explanatory. And so I like to kind of mix those two together because I feel like it's just such a conundrum of like, oh, those are so polar opposites, but can something be like that? Can a goth girl like pink? Is that possible? So, and I think it's worked. It's kind of become like a thing for me. People come up to me like, oh, the pink and spooky girl.
Yeah, it's a vibe.
Oh, okay, You know, and a lot of them don't even know my first name. They just go, the PP Palmer. PP Palmer. Thank you. Yeah, PP Palmer. And I go, I got to change that. And, so, I just incorporate anything stupid, campy, B film, bad film. Things are dumb on purpose. You're in on the joke. That's what I always try to incorporate in my... But people get mad sometimes. They're like, just get to the hair. Enough with the jokes. Or I will do like a movie. I also do like movie locations too. So I go to like movie sets or locations. Like this is where they filmed like Ed Wood or Halloween. And I'll show everything and keep all the aesthetic. But then I'll still have that one comment where it goes, but what lipstick color are you wearing? You're like, fucking asshole. Like I did this whole thing all day and I edited it for 2 days. And you want to know what fucking lipstick color like piss me off.
You have to have little stats like going across the screen. Just
like please do not ask me what mascara or anything I'm wearing. You're not gonna know. It's not gonna, just leave me alone. So yeah, it's trying to find that audience, or at least make that audience that never existed before. So I think I'm hitting the right notes in certain areas. But now I have a platform like Gwengoolie to kind of capitalize on that. And I was like, ooh, can we push what I've been doing and now put it on a platform that's maybe hasn't seen that kind of stuff yet in a while?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Every guest I have on the podcast, I ask them this question. Is there anything that you do every day to make sure you're I just said the question wrong. The question that I ask every time. So I ask everyone that comes on the podcast.
The question that I ask every day.
Yeah. Every day. I ask myself the same question every day and I get the same answer. No. I ask everyone that comes on the podcast this question. Is there anything that you do like every day to make sure you're reaching your maximum potential?
Damn. That got really serious.
Yeah, it did.
No. I would like to be so real with you and be like, yeah, I do. No, there are days I don't see the sunlight at all, you know?
Yeah.
And I feel like we often need that, a good reset. I find myself, I'm a fake extrovert who's an introvert.
Yeah.
So I need like a good reset. So no, to answer your question.
I feel that though. Yeah. I mean, that's sort of an answer though. Like saying that you're like, you know, taking time for yourself really is an answer. Because like being able to unwind and stuff, like I feel like the same way about just like I feel like that, or I definitely need time to just like be by myself. But then also that can turn into a bad thing because then I'll want to be by myself way longer than I should. Yeah.
I have like spurts, if that makes sense. Like spurts of like energy where it's like I do 20 million things in one day. And then the next 2 days, absolutely nothing. Laying in bed, eating hot Cheetos up the wazoo, you know. But I get that. But honestly, like just being online like how we are constantly can get really exhausting.
Oh, yeah.
And you're constantly seeing other people and you're thinking everybody's doing everything at once. And you're never really thinking like, do these people ever sleep? Or anything else in their life. I don't know how some people do it.
Yeah,
it's wild. Insane. But no, I don't. There are days I fail miserably.
Well, thank you for being honest.
You're most welcome.
So, thank you so much for coming on the pod.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
It was great, dude. It was great. Is there anything you want to plug?
No, I don't know.
You want to plug anything?
Which one do I look at? Which one?
The one in front.
I don't know. Go check me out at Pinup Palmer on Instagram or on YouTube, Pinup Palmer, and go and watch Svengoolie on MeTV, 8 p.m. Central Pacific Time. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks everyone for watching this episode. Stay maximum.